Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle.
One box could leave you messed up and fractured. Block these uppercuts, they may leave you captured. May the best fighter win and win again. Battle to the top until his life ends. But if his life ends and he starts to decay, may one of his street soldiers avenge things. See you talking to the game, couldn't be talking to me. I got enough to beat and more soldiers to bury. You know we just clicked in and made you realize this game is twice as hard. You see that with your own eyes. You're on the way to choose your type of life cause you gotta. I tell you from now, which fighter will be the hotter. I don't think you want this one, just practice. Just challenge me when you're ready with your tactics. High punch and spin kicks, watch your back split. I see you in the air when I make you backflip. Let's get it on now. Select to make your first pick. Let's get it on now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's get it on now. Choose and pick the best one. Let's get it on now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it on now. Select to make your first pick. Let's get it on now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One box could leave you messed up and fractured. Block these uppercuts, they may leave you captured. May the best fighter win and win again. Battle to the top until his life ends. But if his life ends and he starts to decay, may one of his street soldiers avenge things. See you talking to the game, couldn't be talking to me. I got enough to beat and more soldiers to bury. You know we just clicked in and made you realize this game is twice as hard. You see that with your own eyes. You're on the way to choose your type of life cause you gotta. I tell you from now, which fighter will be the hotter. I don't think you want this one, just practice. Just challenge me when you're ready with your tactics. High punch and spin kicks, watch your back split. I see you in the air when I make you backflip. Let's get it on now. Select to make your first pick. Let's get it on now.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back, students, faculty, gamers, backlog survivors, wishlist warriors, and everybody in between, especially everybody who watched one trailer and immediately said, I don't need a day one. I'm definitely thinking about it. Welcome back. This is Gamer Quotient Gaming Academy, and tonight class is officially back in session. But it's not really quite the same class because tonight we're going to be doing a Summer Game Fest Afterparty. Now, unfortunately, Nick can't be here tonight, but I do have the boys here with me, and we are coming off Summer Game Fest weekend, and you'll already know what that means. Well, a bunch of trailers dropped, showcases got hit, the release windows appeared, wish lists got longer, group chats got louder, and somewhere out there, somebody pre-ordered the game based on 30 seconds of cinematic footage and just vibes alone. Wow. Tonight, we're going to be throwing the Summer Game Fest Afterparty, but this isn't just a recap, guys. We're not here to run down a list of announcements you could have already seen online. We're here to do what Gaming Academy does best, right? Take the hype, put it on the board, break it down, and ask the real question. Does this deserve the coin, right? Now, use that as a metaphor for Mario or even the money that you make working every day. Tonight, we're going to be leaning into our Insert Coin segment. The faculty will take a look at the games and announcements that stood out from SGF, and each one is going to face the cabinet. Now, before we insert the coin, we will check our intention. We start with our why. Why are we interested in this game, right? We choose one focus. Are we looking at the gameplay? Are we looking at the story, style, value, nostalgia, innovation, or is it just pure, trailer FOMO energy? Now, speaking of FOMO, do you play by feel, or are you just afraid of FOMO? Now, do we actually want this game, or did the showcase just make us feel like we should? So these are all the questions we should be asking. This is why we're going to set small win conditions. Does this need to be a day one purchase, a wish list, a wait for reviews, a Game Pass tryout, or a sale pickup? I'm always a sale pickup, regardless of what game it is. Now, we will also reflect and adjust. Like, what did the trailer prove? What do we still need to see here? And most importantly, protect your time. Right? Because your time matters. You only have a little bit time to play during the week. Your money matters as well, because time equals money, and your attention definitely matters. Now, tonight, the faculty is handing out 3 possible verdicts, so keep on and pay attention. Number 1, insert coin. This earned our attention, and we want to see more. Wait for continue. because there's potential here, but we need a little bit more info, more gameplay, more polish, or just a little bit better timing. And the last one is game over. This one is not getting the coin right now. I'm gonna pass on this guy. So Summer Game Fest is here, guys. It gave us the trailers, and tonight in Gaming Academy, we'll give you the verdict. So grab your notebooks, check your wish lists, and keep your hype meter under control. And remember, hype gets your attention, but intention decides what stays. So with that said, let's go ahead and bring the crew here and introduce everybody that's popping out for tonight. Where'd everybody go? There we go. Hello, fellas. Who are you? What do you do?
And Oliver is immediately being goofy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Oliver. I've been in games media for a very, very, very long time. What I provide for the Gaming Academy is I tend to do analysis and breakdown, and I co-host a sub-segment of the show called Philosophy of the Game with Ace Down Below.
So with that being said, since I was already halfway introduced, howdy everybody, Blazing Ace Nelson, aka your Dean of Applied Sciences. As for what I provide, aside from a more consumer-focused look at the games that we discuss and review, I also am the one that, by and large, I start games by digging into their mechanics, taking a look at what makes them tick, and taking a look at why these games click with the person playing. It's all about mechanics.
It's true. I wonder where all our names went. It disappeared. I was looking for the names here.
What happened to our names?
There we go. Titles.
Labels!
I apologize. But yes, I am the headmaster of the Gaming Academy, GQ Asian Dude. I came here to wrangle all the talent that I know of. Ace, Nick, and our latest addition, Oliver, here, to kind of just talk about the things we love. And there's just more to it than just gaming. I've always felt like deep down in my heart, ever since I was a little kid, games taught us some things that we were just, never taught in school. And, there's a lot of lessons in gaming to be had. So we're here to kind of transfer that knowledge and education and towards you guys so you can share that and our gift to the world. So appreciate you guys being here. All right, gentlemen, Summer Game Fest. Give me your first impression of this year in comparison to how it's been of the last few years.
Fantastic. It was all about games, right? I didn't have to sit there for 20, 30 minutes and hear weird narratives about stuff unrelated to games. They just brought games and had them to show, and even games that I didn't care for. I was just so glad that they were showing actual gameplay. I thought it's been a banger week, right? Just nothing but good stuff come along. You put the thing that you were working on front and center, not the people, right? Yeah. We're not paying for, this is actually really funny, but no, we're not paying for people. We're paying for a game, and that's what we want to see. And it feels like, man, it felt like jumping back in time, man. It was some real DeLorean shit. Like, next thing I know, I jumped back to 1995.
The only thing missing was the booth babes.
That was it. I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, no, everything was very exciting, right? Like I said, even the things that I didn't particularly care about, I was still, they looked hype. It just looked like a good time. So, no, I was impressed.
I agree with that sentiment. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the word I would use for it is refreshing. Because we spent so long with the industry just trying to get as close to Hollywood as it possibly could, and honestly, the only part of the industry and hobby that can really do that and thread that needle with any sort of acuity or cleverness is Hideo Kojima. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Who was particularly, I think, missing, right?
It was weird for him to not be there.
Yeah, who was notably missing from, Jeff Keighley's Electric Boogaloo.
That's his best friend.
What?
That's his homie. So I was concerned. I was like, what's going on?
But again,
maybe just trying to beat the accusations, right?
But again, just the simple fact that we got games this time around. It was sitting down and watching SGF and the Xbox Showcase and State of Play. And I'm sorry that I missed the Nintendo Direct, but all of those showcases that happened over the past 4 days, it gave me the same feeling as like actually walking into a convention or walking into a swap meet, and the product is front and center, and it's speaking for itself, and in many cases, speaking volumes.
Yeah, I mean, my big takeaway from the show was that the type of games that were announced were in quite the contrast to the last couple SGFs. I feel like last time we had an SGF or Video Games Award or whatever, there was a lot of live service, a lot of online, and honestly, I think these were the games that were like planned during 2020, right? In the era where we're all shoved indoors. So, and then people were maximum playing video games, and the players concurrent was at the highest peak, and I think they designed that to be the next 4 years. And so I think all those have been released, announced, canceled already, and they were moving on to the next phase now. Because my big takeaway from the show immediately was like, wow, not a lot of games as a service on here. There's a lot of single player. There's a lot of story narrative games. So I think they got the message right, and that's good. And I think that's a good direction to go back in, especially after all the terrible news we've had about layoffs.
Hey, they got the picture.
Yeah, absolutely. There it is. There it is. All right. I mean, like, so before we kind of jump into the show and just bombard everybody here with our picks, our favorites, and our choices here, and chat, get active tonight, because tonight, we want to talk about games tonight, right? This is not your regular show. I just want to cover real quick the kind of mantra or Gamer Quotient Gaming Academy, right? We're always asking everybody, what is your Gamer Quotient? And I developed this, cute little chart according to the gals at work. They're saying the Guy and Quinn are adorable.
You're
what
welcome.
is your Gamer Quotient? Quinn is technically Oliver's property.
No, I designed her. Just in case people didn't know that. No, I sat down and designed that character because I was like, one of the things that we're missing is a mascot. I was like, so we need to come up with something, and I tossed a few ideas around. I was like, nope, she's old school. She comes straight out of 1988.
Quite a hit, absolute hit.
She's been a hit.
Everybody at work. So I also told everybody at work, hey, there's no real answer to this. It's just choose how many of these are you, right? What's your Gamer Quotient? What are you most familiar with? What are you most passionate about? And there's a lot of questions in here that you guys can read. For example, one of the check marks in here, it says, what excites me the most? Progress, discovery, mastery, story, or connection? Which, and which number would that fault make you under if that answer is yes, right? So, and I guess like chat, yeah, I already see people putting numbers in. That's awesome. But it looks like they're ratings for the show.
Yeah, those are ratings for the shows.
But with you guys, like starting with Ace, like I don't know, what's your Gamer Quotient? How many of these numbers do you think appropriate?
Well, it honestly depends on the game, but more often than not, like the ones that I kind of, I guess, default to are definitely, number 4. I'm very much into games for the characters, the world building, right? I got into games the same way I got into comic books and cartoons, because I love stories. I love telling stories. I love experiencing those stories however I can. So that definitely a 7 as well. I like returning to familiar favorites to relax and, kind of, vibe with the memories that I get from certain games. Like earlier, I was streaming Legend of Mana, and here's a little something for you.
Wow.
Here's a little something for you. A little education. I was today years old when I found out you can suplex a motherfucker.
Really?
I was today years old. No, I was today years old when I found out that you could cancel into said suplexes from your regular attacks.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Game's been out.
It's a fucked up game.
Right?
There's a reason it's the GOAT for me. I'm like, it's pure nonsense until suddenly it starts making sense. It's like speaking Cthulhu language, man. It's like speaking Qbert. All right,
Speaking of languages,
Freaks and
the
wing
Dutch
beings.
bears, that language is for the birds.
Oh my god! I remember how, man, I had to have a notebook and I was writing down and getting that vocabulary, trying to sort that
Brother,
out.
I
Read
had
that. Oh,
I had a game FAQs window open. While I was
that game is torturous and beautiful in equal measure.
right, especially beautiful. I mean, just the painted scenery. But anyway, I'm getting off topic for now. The other portion of my gamer quotient is actually number 8, the lab monster. Look, professor of applied sciences. I love testing mechanics, experimenting with the tech, and learning how systems work. But again, carrying that forward and learning how those systems work as I interact with them.
All right. Sweet. Chat, just pop in your numbers in there. Which ones are you?
All right, I'll bite. I sat on and thought on this a few more minutes after we first popped it up.
Yeah.
And looking at it, realistically, in order of which I am: lab monster, comfort gamer, social player. No, lab monster first, strategist, comfort, and then social. Right? And I'll explain each of those. Like, since we're going to get deep on it, like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Let me read the description of Lab Monster for everyone. You love testing mechanics, experimenting with tech, and learning how systems work. And anyone that knows me knows that immediately, the second I boot up a brand new, fresh game, I've been doing this for, Jesus, how long has it been? I've been streaming regularly for about 13 years. And everyone that's ever seen me play a game, they immediately see me run off and do something that I'm probably not supposed to do because I'm trying to figure out where the walls are.
3
Right?
words: Volgin clutch maneuver.
Like, you got to get in there. I got to figure out what the limitations are and exactly what kind of rules that the system wants to impose upon me so that I can then learn how to bend or possibly break those rules within the constraints of the game itself, right? Not talking about exploits, not hacks, but to understand its systems through and through, right? My exploits in Dark Souls 3 and when I say exploits, I don't mean cheats. I mean my
Missing.
nonsense. My nonsense is legendary in Enter the Gungeon as well as Dark Souls 3 because I can do a Dark Souls 3 run from the start of the game all the way up to Soul of Cinder Dead in 2.5 hours. It's like, how? It's a lot of fucking running. that's it. You're going to be doing a lot of running. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of running. Right? You lace up your damn kicks, put on your old man Skechers because you going for a jog, right? You got to do it quick. Then from there, strategist. Plan ahead, optimize builds, and think a few moves ahead. All my Monster Hunter kids have watched me do it plenty of times. If you put Lab Monster and Strategist together, that's me going, hey, we've never fought this monster before. We don't know what we're doing. We're probably going to lose. That's okay. What did we learn while we were there, right? And I think it's those two things that allowed us to get through the Proof of a Hero in Monster Hunter Wilds, that massive, horrifying huntathon,
And
right?
we're gonna need it for Ascendance.
Right, we're gonna need it again. I think those two elements is what leads them to call me Coach, right? Like Coach Carter, but I'm not Sam Jackson. I'm not bald, but and then comfort for comfort gamer. Here, look, Monster Hunter is my comfort game. I just said this just the other night, but this is a hard. I think it's a hard one for people to a hard pill for people to swallow. Anytime I say it, I've been playing Monster Hunter for half of my life, literally. Monster Hunter 1 came out when I was 22 years old. I had it at launch. I was playing Monster Hunter from day one. I am 44 years old. Like, I've literally been on this franchise the whole time. Anytime I just feel I need that sense of just reliability, and what I see is what I get. I always come back to Monster Hunter. I always come back to it. This is not a Monster Hunter stream, by the way. I'm just saying Monster Hunter is very important to me as a person. It's a franchise that I like and that I love. And then, we finally get into the social player. This one's tricky for me, right? Because, well, as we said here, you value co-op, teamwork, laughter, and the memories made together. And I've made some memories in Monster in Monster Hunter. Showing people all kinds of new tricks and us doing crossover attacks, right? Where it's like, oh hell, you guys just wombo comboed that guy. How'd you do that? It's like, oh, because we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. All I can say is this right now, from co-op play on my PS5's hard drive. Between Wilds and Monster Hunter World, I think I have close to a terabyte of just game footage. Nothing else, just those two games of us always doing something, some fresh, brand new nonsense. But this is a double-edged sword for me. Okay, this is why I took the time to point it out, because I want to co-op. I want to spend more time playing games with people. I've talked about in the past. My brother and I being growing up very, very, very poor, and we spent a lot of time playing co-op games together on the NES and then eventually Super Nintendo and so on and so forth, right? I love co-op, but the one thing that I've found more often than not is that my taste in game has a tendency to not gel with other people's tastes in game. And so co-op opportunities in games come up for me far less frequently than I would like, right? Additionally, the Monster Hunter problem. I've been around Monster Hunter for so long that I don't like going into fights and losing because people want to play the hero. Ace has seen that plenty of times. I don't like that. It's
Yep.
Do you want to win or do you want to be the main character, right? Do you want to win or do you want to be right? And winning sometimes means you take a back seat, right? Winning sometimes means you play a weapon that you're not actually comfortable with, but you're the only person who can do it, right? I'm there for the win, right? And so I can be difficult to co-op with, but if you understand what I'm doing and what my goal is, right? And you're like, oh, this guy wants to make sure that I win and I have a good time doing so, right? Then we get along great. So it's always kind of a mixed bag where I want to co-op with people, but I generally don't co-op with people. And I'll be damned if I'm going to play a game with some randoms. I don't know you people on the internet. I was there when Xbox Live Chat started. I was there, man. The most horrifying things that will come out of an 8-year-old's mouth on Xbox Live. Oh, Lord have mercy. It was all. So, it's a mixed thing. It's something that I like. It's something that I enjoy. It's something that I desire. But it just doesn't come as often as I would like. In fact, the truth be told, Monster Hunter is where I get the bulk of my co-op. And then every now and again, hey, there's a little something different here and there, right? That'll show up, that'll get everyone's attention, and then we have a good time when we do it.
And
But I think those are me.
and less so often, unfortunately, because you've had to step back from playing fighting games.
Yeah. I had to step back from playing fighting games for a very long time because I had developed a repetitive stress injury in my right arm. And the sheer button mashing of that was causing me very, very serious, deliberate pain, right? And just laying off fighting games for the past few years has caused that to go down. So I'm going to beat your ass in Guilty Gear again. You're like, oh, you said all that and came immediately into a threat.
So you are scheduling an appointment with the chiropractor?
I am scheduling
Let
an
me
appointment
pencil
to
you in
light
for next
you
Tuesday.
up. you're gonna get messed up. You're gonna get messed up. My wrist feels better now. Obviously, being smart, I'm like, we ain't gonna do that for 8 hours. We're old men now, but I'll light you up for a couple.
First to 5 on Guilty Gear.
It's like, wait, you're like, does that make you a competitor? No,
No.
no. I generally don't like competing. I don't like leaderboard stuff. Um, I'm more worried about improving myself. Right? I don't need to. For example, I don't need to be a speedrunner in Monster Hunter. Uh, my metric for success is I walk away from the fight and the monster's dead or in the damn bag, right? We kidnapped in Looney Tunes style. That's what I care about. And if I can do it better than I did the time before, that's great for me, right? But I'm not. No, I just don't compete with other people in that regard. I'm competing with myself.
There you go.
I'm ghost racing Mario 64. You know damn well what I mean. You ever get mad at your own ghost? You're like, you son of a bitch, you're cheating. It's you. You, you did
well
that.
Then, well then, speaking of, to kind of merge those two topics together, both Fatal Fury City of the Wolves and Street Fighter 6 actually have clone setups where you can basically build your own ghost to fight against.
Oh,
That's
okay.
amazing.
That's like a new thing now. It's like a trend now because Tekken did that with the 8. Right?
Really?
Ghost Battle. Yeah, Tekken 8. Like, yeah, so you play Ghost Battle and you're fighting against other people's ghosts. Your ghost actually starts learning the way you play.
Interesting.
And then they can fight against it, or you can fight against it to like teach you a little bit. So interesting. Well, I gotta have a confession, gentlemen. This Gamer Quotient metric here is everything. What do I mean by that? I mean by that is I feel that you are 1, 2, 3, all the way to 8. Everybody's a little bit of everything until they get. But depending on the game they play, those will start to kind of come out more, right? Because you could be like, man, I love Monster Hunter, man, but I hate Lethal Company, So number 5 might not just work for you, but at the same time, you love, you love the lab monster aspect of Monster Hunter, right? So I think like depending on the game that you play, each of these numbers will kind of show themselves out of you because a lot of people will play a variety of different games, be not familiar with certain types of games, but then they play them, they're like, wow, I never knew I liked this, right? Maybe because they just weren't resonating with the right game yet. So no right answers, but that's just how I feel about this metric. So right, I think, for example, I'm a big Street Fighter guy. I'm a fighting game guy. You guys saw I was playing City of the Wolves, right? I'm definitely number 8. I'm definitely number 3, and definitely number 1 when it comes to fighting games competitively, right? But at the same time, I love learning the stories of the characters and the arcade modes, right? So I like number 4 as well. But some fighting games just doesn't have that story portion of it. And some fighting games I don't want to be competitive in. I just like being casual. MK is one of those cases. I love the story mode, don't care to play it online against other people. So a little bit of, depending on the game, certain numbers just start to come out of you. And I love that because you're starting to discover a little bit more about yourself. So for those out there, guys, just keep an open mind and just keep track. If a certain game just gets a little rise out of you, check yourself with the game. Check your gamer quotient with that. So fantastic.
I got one last thought on this.
Yes, sir.
Because this is actually an idea that I've been kicking around for probably close to, I don't know, 20 years, right? Trying to help people figure out what games that they would most likely like to play in the first place instead of having to take that swing in the dark, take that and not know where you're headed. Like, I wanted to put together a test to help people discover what they're most likely to enjoy playing in the first place. And it was going to be broken down into very similar archetypes like this. So what I wanted to say about these archetypes is that there's one truly important thing. One truly important thing. When you look at a game, all you need to be asking yourself is, did it activate your almonds or not? Right? Like, did you suddenly get a dopamine hit right, from what you saw, or did it pique you up, right? And if it did, great, play it, and then understand why, right? Ask yourself the question of why was that interesting to me, right? Why is that neat? Why do I like exploring? Why do I like seeing what's just around that next corner and all that? And then go ahead and seek out more video games, seek out more titles like that, right? Like, none of us ever made a choice on these things, right? It's just part of who you are. It's how your brain functions, right? Just, going back to the lab monster thing. For me, it's all about rules, right? Every single game you have ever touched in video game history has different rules. You can even sit down, sometimes you can play the same game, you can play a roguelike, and here's Ace playing and here's me playing, and we have two different rule sets going on. No, games don't replicate their rules or their situations, right? So when you look at this stuff, be asking yourself the personal questions of why do I like this, right? And that's gonna help you, since I'm not doing a watchdog tonight. That's gonna help you save a lot of money, because it's like, don't get caught up in FOMO, right? Who remembers when Sekiro came out? And a whole lot of people got their asses handed to them, right? And ended up returning the game because they thought it looked cool, but they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. They didn't realize it was a Souls-like game, and they're like, "Nope, this is too difficult for me." Right? It's very easy to go. They're like, "Hey, look, what is that game? A Souls game?" Oh, nope, I don't fare well under those, right? And it kind of helps to save you a lot of heartache. And looking at our archetypes here is about helping you find the games that are most enjoyable to you more than anything else, right? That's why I brought up the lab monster thing. Anytime where I can look at a system that has shifting rules, right? Or has very specific or unusual or esoteric rules, I'm really interested because I go, I ain't seen that before. All right, let's see how this works. Let's see what your weird rules are. Okay, now let's see if I can break them, right? So take that time for yourself and find your type or types, and two, try to explore why you like it so much, right? Because you're going to learn more about yourself, and it's going to make you a better gamer. It's going to make your gamer quotient go up. That's up.
Yep.
That's what's up.
And it's a continuous thing. I feel like you'll grow with that, and your taste will change depending on your mood, depending on your season of life. Like it says in the bottom middle there, your gamer quotient can shift with your mood, season of life, and what you need from gaming right now, right? So just be aware of that. So glad you guys are here, and that's basically what we mean when we say, "What's your gamer quotient?" All right. Well, with that said, boom, we're back here again, and man. Let's talk Summer Game Fest. Who wants to start the bet?
Whew, man.
I'm gonna let. It's rough. This is a tough one. Just kind of shooting from the hip. You know what? Here's how I'll start. Here's how I knew it was a good Summer Game Fest. Because I jumped up out of my seat screaming. My wife thought I was dying. It's true. I jumped up out of my seat screaming a couple of times during the show. She was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yes, nothing but amazing things is happening." So that's kind of the metric. You'd be like, "How good was the show?" Had me jumping up screaming. So okay, like it didn't all suck. That's what I'll say.
Start with a commercial. How about that?
There you go.
So the first one on the screen, I'll just play the video as we jump around. But the first game that was revealed was Resident Evil. So
yeah, Code Veronica. Yeah, that surprised me. But I was like, you know what? I've always thought that Code Veronica was kind of ass, but there's a dedicated fan base for Resident Evil Code Veronica. There always has been. They make sure that they are known at every opportunity. So you know what? I'm happy for them. Yeah. I am. I'm happy for them. It's like, look, you guys are getting the treatment too, right? They made sure that you guys didn't get left out of the party. They could have done Resident Evil 1, right? And gotten just completely free real estate out of that. Oh, look, here's the original. They could have done all that, but no, they went for the one that's kind of unknown for many people, right? And is definitely lower in the tier list, but they didn't leave nobody out. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy for the Code Veronica fans. I hope it's everything you want it to be.
Yeah. Ace?
Honestly, yeah, I feel the same way as far as Resident Evil. I mean, I missed seeing the trailer for this, but when I heard the news that Code Veronica was getting a remake, man, that was like it was that same feeling. It was, you know what? Because I know that, you know, there's a dedicated fan base for it, and I hope the game turns out to be everything you wanted, and I hope Adi Shankar does not have a single hand in it.
All right. Well, my first question is it going to be like Village, or is it going to be like RE2, RE4 style?
Good question.
Because they're only showing the first person right here, but we don't know yet. This could just
Wait,
be
wasn't there one where you could switch? Weren't you able to switch between first and third person in Requiem?
Yeah, they could do that too, I guess. I guess it depends on your style of gameplay. But that was my first thing, is because it two different people play those kinds of games, first person and third person. It changes the game.
Yeah,
absolutely changes the vibe and feel of it. But I think it's cool that they're taking like a weirdo Resident Evil. They could have done Dead Aim. That would have been really weird if they did Dead Aim. But it's getting some love, like you guys said, which is, this is one of the only games that hasn't had a remake or any special attention to it. It was like the best version of this game you could play on the Dreamcast, I think, right, or the PS2, and that was it. There was nothing after that. So really, really cool that they're just like, hey, let's take this game that didn't get enough love and give it some attention, right? So I think that's pretty sweet. So starting with Oliver, I don't know, what is it for you, man? Is this a day one, or is it what is it for insert coin for you?
Oh, it's a hard pass.
Game over. Huh?
Game over. No,
not worth your time, money, or energy.
Not worth my time. No. Okay. It's just. That's the only sound I can make. Just Code Veronica always put me off. I'm like, why is Leonardo DiCaprio in here? Like, what's going on? Right, the shifting overhead kind of camera. It's a black sheep game as far as Resident Evil goes. So I'm like, for now.
Sorry, I was about to say, this is the same series that has Dead Aim and Outbreak.
Right. This is the same series, and this is the one that just feels this off for me. So for me, out of the gate, it's a game over. I always have room to be convinced. I can be convinced, right? I need to see more actual gameplay, right? And if it's like, hey, they're giving it the standard RE4 over the shoulder Resident Evil 2 thing, like, okay, I might step in, and it'll be great, because I never even sat down and got my hands on the controller to play Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. Right? I just watched other people play it, and I was like, this is just the worst thing. I don't even want to touch this. Right? So I'm open to being convinced, but right now, no, it is not on my docket.
Same for you, or is it a wait for continue?
Same for me, largely because survival horror it's not a genre I really stick with. I mean, I have played Resident Evil 4. I've played 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I mean, I thought they were okay, but then again, it was just one of those things where I hadn't purchased any of those games for myself except for 4. But even then, not really my wheelhouse. But again, for fans of Code Veronica, go eat.
Yeah,
exactly. We're juiced for you.
I think having seen 2, 3, 4 all remade, and they're like, what about? They're like, don't worry, we got you, fam. And this is it for them. So the fact that it could be possibly 2D and sorry, first person or third person, I think that's extra bonus for you. Finally, you get to play Chris again and Claire. It's been a long time since you get to play Chris, right? Especially in third person. So that's pretty cool. But for me, I'm going to have to say, as always, since it's a new game and my backlog is aplenty, it's always going to be a wait for continue for me. It's not going to be day one. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to wait for patches or updates, but I'm definitely going to wait for a price drop because there's just other games I already own and I don't need to pay full price for a game that I won't play day one. Right, I don't have FOMO in me. Now, on the other hand, I will confess that if they do a collector's edition, I will buy that day one.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, pre-order it because I am just a sucker for like statues, books, or whatever they add into these collector's editions. Remember when those used to come with a pre-order?
Right.
Not anymore. So that's a wait for continue for me. All right. Going to our next game here, it is, I think, Alien Isolation 2. Any thoughts on Alien Isolation 2 for you guys? Did you guys ever play the original one or have any interest in it?
I own the original, but I'm a bitch, so I get scared too easy. I get too scared. I'm like, nope, this shit's too scary. And I just put the control down. I walk the fuck away. I did it with Alien Isolation, and there was another game. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, no.
Outlast or something where you don't have a weapon?
No, it was fucking Dead Space. I lasted 20 minutes. I was like, no.
Dead Space is crazy.
I said, you know what? Fuck it. Space is haunted. I'll let y'all sort that out. The same thing.
For Isolation.
Pretty much the same with Alien Isolation as it was with Resident Evil. Not really my thing.
Your wheelhouse.
Nope.
That's totally cool.
And it didn't grab my attention enough really to, make me decide that I wanted to actually give it a shot.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I know my crew and I know what they like, but I gotta ask anyway.
Oh yeah.
And but Sarah, so kind of skipping over here, this kind of piqued my interest a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
So, and I know Oliver's got something to say, and I'm here for it.
I gotta have it.
Yeah. All right. So tell us the name of the game and why you gotta have it.
Gen Atlas, because I have an interest in mechs, but most mech content I don't like. Like, I really tried Armored Core back in the day. I really did. Like, I put in effort. I was like, damn, I'm just an actual auto mechanic. I'm spending more time messing with parts than actually out there doing mecha shit. Right? Like, the last mech game that I truly deeply loved was Robotech Battlecry. It's been a while. Okay.
That's fair.
And, I loved Virtual On and stuff like that. But first and foremost, this is so different coming from the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian. For him to pivot in this direction, I'm like, what you doing over there? Right? And it's not like the man has ever done me wrong as far as games go. The fact that he tricked me into buying Shadow of the Colossus like 3 fucking times should tell you something. I'm like, why do I keep handing you money? I've played this before. I'm like, it just keeps happening. So I'm just like, you know what? Okay, fine. You just, by default, I'm interested. I'm curious. Curiosity right there. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. I want to know what the hell's going on with this because I'm just like,
That's what I was gonna say. This trailer is like pure storytelling, right? Without trying to say anything. Like we're just watching this with no audio, but like honestly, like there's a scene right here, like this right here. Mm-hmm. This was like Shadow of the Colossus, like built into it, right? But now I'm like, well, are they bad? Are they good? Like, what's the story with this? Is it his? Did he capture it? Right? Like that's the storytelling part of me that's like now I'm really interested in investing in this game. So and that was just from like a 2-minute trailer, probably less than that, but Ace, like is this kind of like in your wheelhouse? Do you find any interest in
no, this is definitely piquing my curiosity for sure. And even I sat down and I played a little bit of Ico, a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus, and I thought those games were all right. But again, much like Oliver, I am very much into mechs. but I'm a little bit more liberal as far as my interest in mechs. So I will sit down and play Armored Core for days. I will sit down and play Gundam Breaker till my eyes bleed. But this right here, just the setting and the visual signature that this has.
This is cool.
Oh yeah, it's got my attention.
Yeah, like this. This is like I don't know. This is very iconic to me right here. This scene right here, it tells a lot as far as like storytelling goes. You know, like this. Watching
Yeah.
this reminds me of that one Colossus that has that giant pillar that you run up. Right?
Yeah, big ass arm.
You know, it's man. Like, I didn't realize there was like gameplay like that too. I thought it was like a lot
Right.
of exploring.
Gunplay out of this guy?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, like you've never done anything like that in 20 years. Like, what's going on? So it really captured my attention. It really arrested me. I was like, okay, are we just? Is he going? Yeah. What if you make Colossus and then you go beat other Colossi with your Colossus? So
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
game, like, oh yeah, no, I'm in. I want that.
Or
I'll
even
play
take pieces of
3
them
times.
and make like your own like Frankenstein Colossus. Because he
Right.
was taking the head from and separated it, right? So that was really interesting too. So no, it's super cool. So
Which basically means I need to save about $180 so I can buy the same fucking game 3 times again for some reason.
probably gonna be like a trilogy. Like, they're doing that with Kingdom Hearts 2 right now. So yeah. So you guys, that's an insert coin from everybody, right? It's
That's an insert.
It's actually a wait for continue.
we got
Traitor.
I'm interested, but there's other stuff that's already got my wallet.
Traitor.
That's fair. And you know me, I'm always gonna be waiting for continue unless it's a collector. Look behind this charge.
Someone get this man a statue, please.
So
No, just get him a box with a fucking t-shirt and call it a day.
They have you know, like the Titanfall collector's edition where the giant I want like the scale guy to be there too. I want it to be small. I would love that for that now this game caught my attention over here. Man, like China is on it. Like they got the assignment and they were like, you know, hold my Shaoxing wine, right? That's how that works over there.
Wow, he said all that.
But they're doing some stuff. Like I was watching this trailer and I was like, please show me more. I don't know if this is 100% gameplay. I like what's happening. It's like God of War meets Dynasty Warriors, right? But it's gonna be played like God of War, just in the world of. Matter of fact, what's the name of this game again? It was like Blood Messenger or something.
Yeah, Blood Message.
Blood Message, right? Yeah. NetEase. I don't know. Did 24 Entertainment do anything else aside from this?
Not sure.
No, right? Like these guys are trying to put a dent in the gaming industry. Like they want to be like, you know, we want to be known, right? They're fighting against the big boys, but like the scale of this game, I mean, just the presentation of it, I'm pretty impressed. And they're probably gonna tie it with like history in some way, you know, like it was a race history or, you know, like pseudo kind of like Wulong where it's like partial history, but not really. There's a little bit of fantasy behind it.
Mhm.
But like seeing the combat there kind of reminds me of like the way the characters like react in like Last of Us, right? When you shove them against the wall, they start moving like that. So it's still too early, and these are one of the games where like it looks good as a trailer, but how does it feel to play?
Right, that's my problem. I'm like, I'm not sure what your game is
Yeah,
right,
like,
based on your trailer, so I can't have any kind of hype generated for it just because I'm like, oh, okay, you know, people fighting in an Asian country again, right? It's like I just came off of Ghost Yote, and after that, I just came off of Ghost of Tsushima, right? And what else was it? I just came off of damn Sekiro. It's all very kind of looking samey right now, and I don't mean that in the negative way. I'm saying you've got fighting, right? There may or may not be horses involved, right? The pro tag always looks cool as shit, but I don't have any context, right? So I'm just going, you got to really separate it. At least something like oh god, what was the Wukong, right? Black Myth
Black Myth.
Wukong,
Like with Blue
right? That had a different look. I understood that I was doing something very, very different there, right?
Mhm.
But between this and like Wolong Dynasty, or even hell, what is the most recent Dynasty Warriors game? Ace Origins,
That's Warriors Origins.
Yeah.
right? They all kind of look the same. Just if you just immediately just were to take a still screenshot and put them down, I'm going, well, what's the fucking difference here? I'm seeing the equivalent of the first person shooter problem that happened in the late 2000s. You remember that, where everything was like everything was built on Unreal,
The cookie
and
cutter, everything was brown.
right.
Yeah.
It was just like most of this actually kind of just looks the same. So I need you to differentiate yourself more,
Yeah.
so that I can get hyped. Right? It's not that it's a rejecting the possibility of being hyped, but I just want to know what the fuck are you selling me right now, because I've been sold that 5 times before. Like, just let me know, and it's not working. It's just right now it's not working. You know what did work for me last year though? Was it last year? I think it was last Summer Game Fest. Kazan, the first
Oh, yeah.
Berserker,
Yeah.
because it looked different. I was like, oh, okay. And then I played that demo. That demo was fantastic. It was a brutal game, right? But it presented itself in such a different way that's what got my attention. And right now I'm not seeing anything different enough to get my attention. So for me,
Yeah.
straight game over.
Game
It's gonna be
over.
a pass.
Ace, wait for continue.
Yep. Wait for continue on this end.
But it's kind of like up your alley, right? Like kind of like what you're saying aesthetically, right? Is what you're saying.
Aesthetically, it's up my alley, but we need more information.
Yeah, I think I found a gameplay video here. I'll check it out later, but let's just keep moving. Let's just keep plowing through here. So this one's interesting. Is this which one's this one? It was like the sand one. That one's really cool. Like it was very mysterious. Mortal
Oh.
Shell 2. I mean, that's just we know what that is, basically.
Hmm.
I mean, Oliver, have you played the first Mortal Shell?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it and not to discredit any of the devs, but to be rough around the language, is it like we have Timo like Dark Souls in your opinion? Or what?
No. We have Alibaba Dark Souls.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's one of the worst games I've ever
Enough
played
said.
in my life.
Enough said on that. This is the one that I found really interesting because there's nothing really like this. Right? Like create like a landwalker on the desert. And it's got a little bit of like survival to it. I think that's cool. A little bit of mech,
This
right?
is just cool. See, this is that co-op vibe I was talking about, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to get up to some nonsense, but if you tell me it's if it's some extraction,
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
right? No, I just want to get on some mechs and fuck around in the desert, right? I want to go, here, wife, here's the controller. Look, we have a big stupid spider mech that we're going to walk around on and rob everyone else
It's
in
Wild
the
Wild
fucking
West.
desert of the water, right? She's going to be like, yeah, I'm in, right? I don't want to go PvP against anybody. I just want to get up to nonsense with me best mates. It ain't that hard.
Yeah,
Right.
PvE I think is one of the most difficult ways because you're basically raiding and they have to like figure out how to like balance that out within multiple people, right?
Mhm.
So what's this one? Oh, this is the Assassin's Creed 4. Are you guys Assassin's Creed fans or just it's always a pass for y'all?
Syndicate.
Syndicate, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Syndicate is the chosen one.
And I got into Syndicate after watching this goofball over here stacking bodies up in Black Flag.
I was watching a lore video because I had just recently finished Origins, which by the way I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy the fact that they're trying to sell me as soon as I load the screen. Right, that was another thing that I think Oliver said that too. I agree. I was like, "What the hell? I just bought the game. You're trying to sell me more stuff?"
Yep.
Right?
Ooh, that
They
pissed
said
me
that
off.
they said Syndicate was peak original Assassin's Creed. They've finally perfected the formula, right? And then they switched over to a new formula. right after that, because wasn't that the last one before they went to Origins,
I want to
Unity.
say you're correct.
right?
That was the last one before they switched
the
switched
action
the
RPG style, right? Versus
Yeah.
like what they had before. Yeah, that was I was watching the video. They were like,
Oh,
this
wait,
is
no,
peak Assassin's Creed. All right, Ace. I know that this is right up
Yeah,
your alley.
yeah. Syndicate was, in fact, you're
Okay.
correct. That was the last of the old.
The last of the old. That's right. That's us. All right, so Ace, tell me. I didn't guess this was Gundam. First of all, there's aliens, right?
Neither did I. That's
And
And
yeah,
neither did I.
and it's kind of. I find it really interesting of how they're able to get away with this, or they got the permission to, because Gundam has a formula that war is bad, right? And there was never really aliens in Gundam. So,
at least not as a major focus.
right. Yeah, there's new types and stuff like that. Not that was kind of aliens. I'm talking about like these guys, like Monster Hunter aliens, right? Slicing and dicing. I mean, that has Gundam a look to it, but never like this. Also, I was like, so is this like a Monster Hunter game with Gundam? Like what am I watching here?
For a second, I wasn't too sure if this was God Eater or Armored Core,
I was guessing definitely Armored Core.
and that's what captured my attention because it's mechs, it's kaiju, and I'm like, what are we looking at here? Because I have recently been going absolutely bananas playing Megaton Musashi, which is mechs versus kaiju, right?
Yeah.
I was not expecting anything like this, and then I see the suits running around cutting up monsters, and I'm going, this is fantastic. What is this? Tell me more. And then I see Gundam, and it's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we didn't really see
Gundam.
the flourishes of like Gundam, because Gundam is like white reality. Like this is very dark, grim, especially for a Gundam. And I'll go back here.
Now, here's what I'll say. Of all the mecha out there I hate, Gundam is definitely the one I hate the most. So that's probably going to surprise you when I say, "Yep, that's a go for me. This is a go. It looks good. It looks good, and if it is that, if they are in fact doing kind of a mecha Monster Hunter, yes,
Or like,
of course, I am. If that's what it is, if that's truly what it is, and how it kind of plays out, oh my god, I will actually be willing to tolerate the Gundam fandom just for that.
Oh no!
I'll go fucking bananas.
There is a rather sizable segment of the Gundam fandom that's going, this isn't Gundam, and just
100%.
writing it off.
100%. Gundam's behind me, right? And this is why I was like, oh,
incredible.
This is disruption. And the reason why I accuse this of being a Monster Hunter, like, look what it's doing. It's just every combat, except for like a couple scenes, is him fighting that one big monster, right? That's why I was like, is this a Monster Hunter? Like, there's no really other gameplay other than show.
So while I do want to see more in terms of gameplay, because they do a nice little transition to some gameplay footage.
Yeah.
Like while I do want to. Yeah. And while I do want to see more from it, like here, this right here is gameplay, and I'm looking at this, and I'm
there's that non-Monster Hunter gameplay, and then it goes back to Monster Hunter gameplay. So I'm like, okay, well, so what do we got here?
So yeah, look, this is insert coin immediately.
Insert coin? Oh man, my man knows what he likes, right? Immediately.
They said it is strongly melee focused, so I'm gonna have to.
If we can throw hands in this,
I also noticed they didn't have the traditional beam saber, right? He had that like sword.
Yeah.
So that's very like, it's Gundam coded, but it's not 100% Gundam. And I'm sure the purists will throw a fit about it. That's usually how it works.
Right. It's definitely got that David X Machina feel to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has like Armored Core and Gundam had like a baby basically. So
They got something cooking over there. I'm just saying it definitely does look like that, and that will be for me the oh look, here's a Monster Hunter that someone hasn't done
Right.
before,
Right.
right?
And I'm okay
And again, that sells it for me.
I'm okay with
Easy.
them exploring,
Easy.
the other portions of Gundam because we've already seen the formula multiple times. I don't even know what is this? This is another like third person shooter adventure. Has to have a story. She has probably a psychic powers, like one of those. That's No Moon. Oh, is that the studio or is that the game?
That's the studio. I forget.
Okay. Oh, this is that game where they're like fighting like not zombies. The big thing that they pushed on this trailer was like, look at the way she's crawling around the covering, right? That's like their big like, yeah. See how she's like kind of squatting sideways.
Big tech demo portion.
Yeah, that's like it was weird. It was like that was the thing they were talking about the most that made their game unique, right? Not like the healing, not the weird sci-fi-ness, right? Or like pseudo zombie like feel of the game. Like this part's very pseudo zombie, but like the way she was crawling around the cover, I was like, oh, that's really weird to talk about.
That's exactly the reason why it got my attention. I'm gonna put it on the wait to continue, but the fact that they talked about that cover system, all of us go way back far enough to remember when cover systems were first introduced
I know
in
this
video
game's
games.
called Kill Switch. No?
No. No,
Crossfire.
the first game to
No, Crossfire is the name of this
that's
game.
not it either.
Fire.
Oh, yes, Crossfire was the name of this game. No, what was the there's an actual very first game that had an active cover system. Is it Winback?
Yeah.
I want to say that's it.
PS2.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It was Winback.
Well, let's look at the dates on those. Oh, I think
That was a long time ago.
Kill Switch had the blind fire, the first blind fire. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to fire blindly from cover, yeah, that's separate. But the cover system being very important there. And so when they showed that and they talked about that in here with Crossfire, I understood that they were trying to tell us something important, right? If anyone remembers this is one of those rare FPSs that I actually fucking loved from Bethesda. Actually, I want to say it came out in. Did it come out in like maybe 2013? Brink, right? And they had their smart system, right? Which first and foremost, brilliantly fucking named, by the way. Like if you're gonna go for an acronym, it doesn't get any better than that. They're like, nope. Here's how we're handling free running and parkour. We have this smart system, smooth movement across random terrain. I was like,
Clever bastard.
give that man a fucking raise.
Someone give that man a raise.
Give him a goddamn raise in a corner office. That's brilliant naming. But it did actually work in the sense of it was just broken down into your body weight classes, right? Small frame, medium frame, large frame characters, right? And the small frame guys, you just needed to hold a parkour button and they would sort the rest of the shit out on their own, right? So that you could stay more focused on the actual moving and tagging your goals and objectives and staying engaged in combat, and knowing what your weight class was would give you a really good idea of exactly what terrain you were going to just fly right over versus, the ultra lightweight guys that can't take a fucking shot to save their lives. But God, they're just little, just doing the flying trapeze bullshit, like all over the place. And that system it did work exactly as they pitched it and as they sold it.
Yeah.
Right. It's just nobody cared because all people cared about at that point in time was Call of Duty. Right. So it didn't get the chance in the sun that it deserved. It's like, whoa, these guys are doing something different. And these guys here with Crossfire spending their time pointing out, hey, your character will always adapt to an object. If it seems like it could be cover, it will be cover, right? And it's like, that's like, wait, the fact that they're putting emphasis on this means something special is happening, and I think we need to keep our eye on that. It's like Dying Light. You know, if you look up and you go, man, I bet I could grab that, there's like a 90% chance you can, in fact, grab and climb that object in Dying Light. And so it makes
What's
free
that
running
called? Like
everything work.
contextual collision or something like that, right? Or like
I
you know,
think.
when you're playing a game, like a third person game, and your character puts his foot up against a ledge naturally, right? It's contextual collision.
Yeah.
Like that's that like that. Right?
Oh, you mean when your character puts their foot up on a stair,
Yeah,
like they're
but
walking
like
up
you
the
don't
stairs?
do anything. It just your
Uh,
leg just that animation just matches it.
Inverse
Inverse
kinematics.
kinematics mission. Okay, cool. I think
Yep.
that's underappreciated. Honestly, not a lot of people gonna go,
Mhm.
hey man, look at that detail. Like every game I play now that has a character, I try to do that with like any curb or anything. I'm like, oh look at that, that's cool. You know,
I'm not 100% certain on this, but I think Resident Evil Remake was the first to utilize it
on the
on the
GameCube.
GameCube.
Okay,
I think. I'm not 100% on that one. So before somebody freaks out, but I just remember it's one of the earliest to actually utilize it.
yeah, that's a good question because I feel like that game is very flat. Like because you're at tank controls, right? We'd have to like
Yep.
dig deep. So, Chad, if you guys know, let us know. That'd be cool.
Climb up them
Right.
stairs.
Ace, before we jump into Virtua Fighter, because I know you're just punching
Oh.
to get to Virtua Fighter, I want you to cover today's ad read. Ready?
Captain,
Advertisement time,
time for
kids.
shameless shilling. Captain,
right.
it would be my genuine pleasure.
This one's spicy.
Before we move on, yeah, I'm gonna need everyone to take a look at the screen for a second. Just look, because this image right here is giving us full rival schools energy. We got detention class. We've got Gaming Academy branding on the wall. We've got a student hunched over the desk like he just failed the strategy over ego exam. And standing over him, a professor with serious Kyoko Minazuki energy. Lab coat, glasses, book in hand, and the look of someone who's about to diagnose your entire play style as terminal button mashing.
Trash.
And honestly, she might be right. Because at Gaming Academy, detention isn't just punishment, it's curriculum. And today's lesson, why bad decisions don't level you up. And the front and center on the back of that student, which I feel quite proud of, considering this is, considering this is mine and Oliver's baby, the PhD Philosophy of Gaming t-shirt. Now, this shirt is for the players who know games are more than just wins and losses. They're choices, they're systems, they're lessons. They're the difference between mashing through life and actually understanding the matchup. The back design is bold, detailed, and loaded with that Gaming Academy mindset. Think deep, play smart, and level up. So whether you're a strategy student, a fighting game scholar, or someone who has absolutely been sent to detention for skipping the tutorial, this tee's got your name on it. And look, if Kyoko's running detention, you'd better come prepared. Bring your notebook, bring your controller, and most importantly, bring the fit. The Academy, exactly. Eat your dinner. But to join the Academy, to step into the next level of gamer style, head to the link that's been scrolling across the bottom of this entire show so far. That's gamerquotient-shop.fourthwall.com.
There you go. Yeah, I just wanted to feature this shirt a little bit more. I really enjoyed the philosophy of gaming episode, and I'm looking forward for more of that. I really wanted to create something that nails in the spirit of Gaming Academy. So this is the front, actually, here, a little logo for them. I think it's super cool. I think one day we make that into a card. It'd be great. The back is actually where it resonates the most. big old logo back there. But the detail on the sleeving, I think, is where really it shines. It has details from the other shirts as well, right? To the next class, and the other one is the logo as well. So you get a lot of graphic on this shirt. Now, here's the other thing that really I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." This thing looks great in chocolate. So this is my favorite color, right here.
So listen, the next time you ask me on a date, okay, you don't have to go all the way there, okay? You can just ask me for my phone number instead of saying I look good in chocolate.
There you go.
You can just bring that shit down, okay?
Look, he said that this ad read was going to be spicy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And here we are.
Also comes the navy, which these are all Gamer Quotient colors. They're pretty cool.
A little bit of Tabasco on there.
Yeah.
Answer. There's an audience question. They're going $25. That better be a damn comfortable shirt. Yes. I will actually speak to that because I run my own personal store through similar fulfillment. So I do actually know what the quality of that content is. In fact, if you look at all these fine gentlemen on screen right now, we are wearing hats from that store, and it is literally some of the highest quality product that I have ever seen. And there's one thing that I always do. I never tell anyone to buy something that I wouldn't buy for myself. That's just foolish. So I can attest to the quality of the actual wear between the hat. I've had a shirt made to them. It's probably the most comfortable ringer shirt I've ever owned in my life. Right? I'm like, wait a minute. This is way too good for what I paid for. So no, we can actually attest to the quality of these goods because we all own these goods ourselves.
Yes, sir. He is correct. I wish I had that Morgan Freeman. He's right, that one. And Squall, yeah, if you need to put Kyoko on one, well, the goal is for you to put the shirt on a Kyoko that you would meet someday. That's the goal. So get your gamer quotient up, right? Girls love smart gamers. All right. So kind of going back here, we're gonna go back to one of the first 3D fighting games to ever kind of like kick off, this era of fighting. Starting with Virtua Fighter. I remember seeing Virtua Fighter for the first time in arcade, and I was like, what, 10, 11? And I was like, whoa, 3D fighters. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this game looks like garbage. No, I was like, look at them. It's like, they're real, and they're just pulling.
You have to give them their due, right? Virtua Fighter really, they laid it out there. They laid the groundwork for how to fight in 3D in the first place.
Absolutely. With only 3 buttons. By the way, they never changed that formula, and I am shocked on what they can do with the limitation of punch, kick, and grab. Right. So, Ace, tell us about this new. I think this is going to be a new era in fighting games. Virtua Fighter is going to set the record straight here.
Yes, I highly believe that is a bold statement. But considering what's on the screen right now and considering what the developers have talked about in interviews, that's a statement that is going to be very easy for them to back up. Because seeing as how this is being developed, through RGG Studio, they're taking not only are they, taking what they've already got established with Virtua Fighter, but leveraging the technique and the talent of RGG Studio, with, of course, the world building that they've done with the Yakuza being leveraged for this fictional Southeast Asian city in Virtua Fighter Crossroads. But then there's also the simple fact that, just like Squall Shade mentioned, this is not Virtua Fighter's first rodeo as an RPG or as an action RPG. Y'all remember Virtua Quest?
On the GameCube?
GameCube and PS2, yep.
Okay. God, that game sounds expensive now. I'm going to go look.
Probably. But yeah, just seeing this, it looks like they are really, sticking to their guns as far as taking Virtua Fighter in a new direction while still holding on to its core. And let's talk a little bit about the writing team that they got for this. Like one of the three lead writers on this is David Hayter. Yes,
That was a shocker.
that David Hayter, Solid Snake, the man who wrote the first X-Men movies.
Yeah, NRS has definitely competition, and they need it, right? And honestly, like this right here feels like a higher quality world tour, like what they're trying to set up here. Go ahead.
It does.
The only kind of world tour I want to hear about right now is Twisted Metal 2 World Tour.
Don't play with my heart like that, man.
Right.
What are you doing, bro?
But one thing I got to say that Crossroads also does incredibly well is it sets up their new protagonists without trying to overwrite or overshadow the core legacy characters.
Yeah, I like
because you watch this, and one of the big takeaways from it is, okay, we actually give a damn about what's happening with Cielo.
Yeah, I like the storytelling in this trailer, right? Like Pai Chan is old, right? And it just shows you they've been around for a while. This is clearly not Sarah Bryant, but resembles Sarah Bryant, so that's probably her daughter, right? Something along those lines. I'm sad that Shun's probably dead, and if he's alive, he's probably a zombie. He's old as shit, right? So we got to find somebody else that's Drunken Master now. That was my character.
Either that or he's looking even more like freaking Low Pan.
Oh, bro, this guy was old. He was ancient, dude. He's got to be dead. That's crazy if he's still alive. I'd be upset if he was still alive.
What I need is a surprise cameo by a very old man at this point, if this takes place in the current day, which it looks like it does. You know who I need it to be?
Hold on. Is it a Sega character?
Yes.
God, I wish I could get. Are they a fighting game related character?
Very much so. Related to Virtua Fighter.
All right. So you got any bets on us? You got any guesses?
The character would be very old at this point.
I got. Man, I'm not a Sega fighting guy. I'm thinking Eternal Champions, but definitely nothing.
Nothing would be fucking cooler than Ryo Hazuki showing up in Virtua Fighter.
100%.
Man.
Or
for the people that don't know, the fighting system in Shenmue is completely based around Virtua Fighter, right? Because Yu Suzuki worked on Virtua Fighter, so that would be fun. And it's like, wait a minute, it's like, remember, kids, Shenmue took place in the 80s. Ryo Hazuki was a grown-ass man. He was 18, so he's going to be old at this point. But that would be
it would probably be like a dojo character you visit or something.
It'd still be cool as hell, though.
Definitely an Easter egg. That's pretty cool.
Right? Just kind of foreshadowing. It's like, hey, whatever happens, know that he survived his adventure, his quest with Shenmue. No, that would drive people crazy. That would rile them up. Right? He could just have completely throwaway lines. Like, it doesn't even matter, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Just enough to it's taste. Just like that. Get people juiced up.
The big thing that I'm kind of like, ooh, Capcom needs to pay attention is that RGG is helping develop this, right? And of course, Yakuza is a brawler. Can you imagine if the next Street Fighter has like some sort of final fight segments to him? Like, you see what I'm saying? Do your homework, Capcom. Yeah. Pay attention. So that's learn from this, hopefully. But yes, I would love to do more Virtua Fighter for like a whole segment. So we'll jump on more on that at a different time. But I want to cover Oliver's choice because when Monster Hunter shows up, I love it when Oliver's here talking.
No, hold on. I gotta get the costume for this shit. Hold on. I gotta put on the costume. All right, we're gonna have to go full fucking Evangelion on this shit. I need you to get on the fucking secrets and get on the secret.
Oh
Love
No, by default, nope. Get on the fucking bird.
it. First question.
We're go.
First question. What we just saw is like like what is this, like a platoon of like monsters? Is this new, or is this something I've never seen?
No. This is something that's already in base wilds. Pack monsters, and the flying homies that we saw. We have those up in the God. What is the name of the ice area?
Oh, yeah.
In wilds. I never fucking go there. That's why I can't remember the name of it.
But you're talking about the
I'm like,
Hirabami.
Nah. Yes, like the Hirabami. They also herd together like that. Like pack monsters and herd monsters. The Uncut Coup does it, so it's already in there. But they really, really underutilized it at the start, and so they had to actually put in quests, like a couple, to actually just deal with a pack, or deal with an alpha and yada yada yada. Yeah, they really underutilized it. So I think that's their way of telling us that they are actually going to try to follow up on that more in the expansion. Now, the thing that made me jump up and scream, the first of many jumps ups and fucking screams in my house to happen. Are you dying? No, I'm happy. That's my boy, Lao Shan Lung. I love that Elder Dragon. Like, he's my second favorite monster in the entire series.
Sounds like we're both in this one.
And here's what's cool. I don't speak a lick of Chinese, but I know what his name means. He's an old mountain dragon. That's all it is. Just old motherfucker is his name in Chinese. And the whole reason you fight Lao Shan Lung. Now, what's cool is if you could go back, I'm not sure if you can pull it up, but if you find the original Monster Hunter trailer for the PS2, for E3, it ends on the same shot. That's how we know it's Lao Shan.
Oh.
And if you look at all the equipment that every single one of those hunters is wearing in this shot, all of those pieces of equipment were available in Monster Hunter 1.
I noticed, but I never noticed the shot. That's cool.
Yep. If we can get that pulled up, so I'm really excited. I was clowning on it though. I was like, oh look, Monster Hunter Wilds, Skyward. Right? I was just being an asshole the whole time. I was like, oh look, Monster Hunter Wilds, Tears of the Kingdom, like, like, you know what? But fuck it, Vertical. That, since Monster Hunter 4,
what the heck?
they have pretty consistently. Oh, yep. See, there you go.
Pops out
there it
real
is.
Fast, right there.
There he is. Like, boom. Because anyhow, like, my just looking at it from Monster Hunter 4 and with World and Iceborne and Monster Hunter Rise. Look, we just went Monster Hunter Rise. Now we're doing Monster Hunter Ascendance. They tried to lift y'all up, and you're acting fucking crazy. They're trying to boost you, and this is how you're acting. Like, Jesus. No, so they've been doing that though since Monster Hunter 4. Like, they continue to try and expand on the game vertically in multiple different ways, right? With just Monster Hunter 4, they're like, hey, you could like climb stuff, and you can technically jump off of stuff now and use that as a form of attack. And Insect Glaive made its debut. Like, this is nuts. Right? And then in World, they smoothed that out even further. And so they've just been trying to build more varied terrain. And I'm going, you want to go all the way up there? All right, fuck it. Let's see what you do with it, right? I like the boost bracer as a way of changing up attacks and things like that again. That just looked cool to me. Watching that greatsword swing that many times in that short period of time, I was like,
I want to see what it does for the Insect Glaive.
One thing I know for sure is that Monster Hunter always takes with one hand and gives with the other. So every time you get something cool, just know it's going to get way
Yeah.
fucking worse.
I was gonna say, like, remember how I mean, I think I brought this up very briefly, how like those wounds that we get, and then and it makes them fall down, made the game a lot easier, right? Do you think we
Mhm.
really? I mean, I love new things. Hopefully, we get a new weapon, but do you think this game was gonna make the game easier? Like, in because it's already like for vets like you, you're like, I don't need more tools. I'm just good enough as it is.
I think that here's the general MO in Monster Hunter. Every time they give us a new tool to use, they don't just go, "Hey, here's a new thing," and just drop it in our all apps. They tend to, right? It's not 100%, but they have a tendency to balance that new thing against the whole game and make sure that it's going to interact as properly as they can get away with. It doesn't mean that Monster Hunter games don't have bugs or anything like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they definitely put a lot of thought into what they're doing with that. Monster Hunter Wilds got blasted, and I would say to a certain degree, justifiably so, for being too damn easy. That we're at the end now, right? Where there's not really any more updates coming. We got to wait for Ascendance
Mhm.
to drop, right? Next year. But they had to put in 10-star fights just so people felt like that they were actually doing
Yeah.
some work, right? When hunts were going 2-3 minutes tops, everyone's going, what the hell is this? Right? So as an introduction to Monster Hunter, I suppose that's very good for you. But there was a lot of dissatisfaction with how that played out. It wasn't like the focus mode thing. Like we thought that was going to break the game when they went but and they first showed us Wilds. We were like, oh my god, you're just letting people target wherever they want. You're going to absolutely ruin this game. No, not at all, not at all. The things that we thought were going to be great turned out to be terrible. The things that we thought were going to be terrible turned out fucking great, right? But it's like, oh look, hey, you have a secret. Oh, it will just automatically go wherever, and people are going, I don't really have to learn the maps now because the secret just takes me everywhere, so I don't
Yeah,
think about
like a
it. It's
taxi,
like,
basically.
oops, right. We got a built-in bird
Yep.
Uber. Fuck, why would I pay attention to the map, right? Whereas at least in Monster Hunter Rise, when we had the Palamutes, we had to drive, right? So we needed to know the map and look around and study the terrain and know the field and all that. You just don't really have to do that in Wilds. So, like I said, sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad, but every time an expansion comes around, they have a strong tendency historically, right? Like I'm talking, you can go all the way back to Monster Hunter 3 and 3 Ultimate. They pay attention to the feedback that they get from the audience, and they really take it to heart. Like, so a lot of things that just weren't working in a base version of Monster Hunter in its expansion, they course correct really, really, really heavily. Like Monster Hunter Rise, they had the rampages, right? It's like, oh, you're gonna fight so many monsters, right? This is the big ultimate huntathon, and it turned out to be one of the worst things ever. It was just like we just did it to do the story, and they have the analytics to back it up. It's like people didn't touch it after we only did what was required. So in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, that shit doesn't exist. That nope, they just skipped it altogether. It's like nope, we're not. They act like it never happened, right? You're like, oh, the rampage. What rampage? Who told you
Basically.
there was a rampage? Ain't no rampages here, right? Course
Okay.
corrections on those things, and with Ascendance, I think that they're going to course correct the difficulty curve and the type for G rank, right? And I think it's going to change things in an amazing way. I have no doubt that the boost bracer will fucking break everything. It's gonna, something's gonna get broken, right? They're gonna patch the shit out of us in those first
Yeah.
month, right? They're like, oh, we had a roadmap, but nope, hot fix, three
I think
hot
that's
fixes a
like
week.
I feel like that's a move though. Make you feel really strong and you're like having fun, right? And then
Right.
once the what is this? Novelty wears away, you're like, all right, we'll just nerf it for you. I mean, we'll make some adjustments, and then you're happy the first time. And
I think it's gonna go something like that. You remember the temporal mantle?
oh no,
in in base world.
Yep.
We got that. You're like, oh, I just can't be hurt for the next 2 minutes.
Yep.
Right. And then they're like, oh, we done fucked up.
We might need to fix that.
Right. Oh, now you can just
You do a lot of
free
damage
attacks.
in Monster Hunter. Like you say, give me 2 minutes, you'll do a lot of damage.
Right.
Sure.
Because 5 seconds in Monster Hunter is a damn eternity. Right? You'd be like, I knocked him down for 5 seconds. You're like, do you know what kind of shit I can do in 5 seconds?
If not, you're about to find out.
All right, Ace. This is your other pick, right? And
Yes,
I've been
indeed.
watching this trailer, because I like martial arts as well, for no other reason than that. The world building is awesome. I was like, bro, they can do Cyberpunk better than Cyberpunk. Crazy, right? It definitely gives me Battle Angel Alita vibes, right? Super cool too. So if you're into that, that's awesome. Even better. What's your take? I mean, my first question is, what's your take on? I think I know the answer, but going from blade to fists.
Oh.
Blades to bruising. There you go.
That's my take. But in,
I gotta
in
tell
all
you, Ace.
seriousness,
I got to tell you, Ace, your skeeting voice is not what I expected.
listen,
That's a weird way to have an O.
Listen, I've been cackling like Brian Fury pretty much ever since I first saw this trailer, okay? But
Spicy episode, guys.
Absolute spice.
But actually getting down to brass tacks with this, with Stellar Blade Blood Rain. First off, when I saw the title, I was kind of wondering, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute, is this supposed to be an offshoot? Is this a parallel story? But no. After watching the interview, yes, this is Stellar Blade 2. And I love just the simple fact that it's taking everything that drew me to the first game to begin with, and building on that. And then that segment right there where it seemed like the gauntlet just like
She's locking in.
unfurled. Yeah. I saw that and I was just like,
This-
oh wait,
Bro, this right here,
we're throwing hands now?
the face she makes before she gets kicked, I was like, this detail's insane. Watch this. Look at that. Boom.
Oh,
I was like, they didn't have to make like that expression, but they did. Like it they could have made her look away, but it's cool.
I knew I was looking at Stellar Blade,
But
and I'm not even joking. The second I saw her ass cheeks, I knew it was Stellar Blade, because I'm just saying, like, right now, apparently in South Korea, biggest dumpus is where it's at. Right? Like,
Not wrong.
this is they're about that life right now. It's like, ha ha ha, I'm not making a fucking joke. I'm being as serious as a heart attack. Like, no, just go look at a bunch of South Korean developed games, and somebody got junk in the damn trunk. I'm like, okay, like I'm not objecting. I'm just noticing.
They appreciate,
Right?
appreciate the good points, the Renaissance body, right?
But not only that, there's a specific kind of leg length that they use or I don't know how to describe it. It's something to do with the length of
ratio?
the legs and the ratio of that. Bayonetta had a very similar type thing going on. So I knew I was looking at Stellar Blade, because I was like, no, you guys actually do anatomy in a really specific way when you make this. And I mean, everything I played of Stellar Blade before, like, I mean, these two are very different. Obviously, they're very different from each other, but I knew, just because I was like, no, you guys have a method, and now you've committed to it, and you're going for it. And then I see her throwing these fucking hands around, right? Like, everyone's catching some fucking shade, right? All the little piggies came home, right? They're like, no, they might as well call it Stellar Blade Smoke, because everyone's fucking getting it, right? I'm like, hey,
Blood smoke.
like, I'm just saying. I looked at that, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I played the demo for Stellar Blade, and I'm starting to get soulsed out, right? I'm just like, another Souls game. And so it didn't go anywhere for me. I was like, no, I don't even care about her big old butt cheeks. I don't care about her big old jangly booty. I'm not playing another Souls game right now. That's how bad it is. I turned down absolute free butt cheeks to look at because I was like, but I would have to work. like, all that effort. But here, you're telling me I can fucking punch someone in the kidneys and get a free show? Well, fuck it. Why not?
And that's
But
exactly
if it is a
why
Souls,
I paused it right here, Ace, because this one stood out the most. She's doing Gene moves here with the dodge. I was like, oh man, I hope Ace sees this. So check us out. Isn't that cool?
She's doing the God hand dodges.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's a pattern that I've kind of noticed though. There are certain games that have come out where the first entry set the tone, but there was something about it, in large part the mechanics, the gameplay, that just didn't quite resonate with everybody. But then they come out with part 2 and it's like, okay, let's do this with more confidence. Let's free the engine up a little bit. Let's give people a lot more to work with. I mean, this is the Street Fighter to Street Fighter 2 pipeline. The Dynasty Warriors 2 to Dynasty Warriors 3. This same kind of thing happened with God of War. Because God of War and God of War Ragnarok had that similar, almost Souls-like, more deliberate pacing to its combat, and it worked for people. But for some of us, myself included, it didn't. But I'm actually looking at how the combat is flowing in God of War Lafe, and I'm looking at how the combat is flowing here in Stellar Blade Blood Rain, and I'm going, if I go hands on with this, I'm fucking somebody up and laughing all the way to the bank.
I kind of want to play them both. Like, they look like they feel good to play, right?
Exactly.
They look and feel responsive, right? And that's what I'm here for, right? Watch the whole debating over that. Oh, these female protagonists. I don't give a fuck who I'm playing as. I want to play someone who's doing some cool shit. That's what I'm here for. Like when people get caught up on that stuff, it's like, no, I don't care. I truly don't. I want to do cool shit. Do you know, this is why one of the greatest Castlevanias ever made is Order of Ecclesia, right? Because we're like, oh shit, she's cool as hell, right? Wait, did you just absorb that guy's soul into the tattoo on your back? That's amazing, right? Or
that's metal as fuck. Tell me more.
Right. Or Bloodstained coming out. Oh, who objected to playing as Miriam in Bloodstained? Fucking nobody. That's who. Right? You know why? Because she has an amazing tattoo right on the top of her titty. Right? That's also killing her. And you're like, I love and hate this at the same time. Please tell me more. Right? And next thing you know, who is it that was pursuing her throughout the castle, Ace?
Zangetsu, a.k.a. Solid Snake, David Hayter.
Ding! Right? Everybody showed up for that because it's a fucking fun game. That's why. Because you're doing cool shit in the game. Anyone that, you know what? I'm calling everyone's gamer cred to the table right now. World over. Doesn't matter. Right? The only thing that truly matters in a video game is whether or not you're doing cool shit. You know what? If you're like, what are you talking about? If your ass is playing Tetris and you form a Tetris, that's cool shit, right? You have control of the situation. If your ass is playing Dr. Mario and the next thing you know, you set up a pill drop combo that kills 20 viruses, guess what? You're doing cool shit. Right? If I'm playing a game, they go, we want you to take this big ass sword that's bigger than you. I said, uh-huh. They're like, we want you to go out there and we need you to kill that big ass frog. Uh-huh. Right? And you murder a gigantic frog with a sword bigger than you in Monster Hunter. You're doing cool shit. Right? Listen, I only recently learned about Mario's Picross. Right? I started playing that shit and it turned into a thing. I had more women tune in for that stream than I've ever had in history. They showed up. I was like, I do not understand. It's like, wait, wait. I started to get it. They said, he's in. Wait a minute. I'm making fucking pictures by guessing shit out. Oh, wait. I did. I made a picture. That's cool shit. That's what all video games require. Cool shit. Right? The definition of cool shit, that's what's different. Right? That's the whole thing we can debate all day long about, right? But the fact of the matter is, God of War looks like they're doing cool shit. I mean, it's weird that you're running around with the Jello mold, but you know what? We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
No,
And I feel like
it's not weird. You want to know why? Because there's
Dude.
always room for Jello.
That's true. He got me on a technicality, Your Honor.
ding, ding, ding.
I
Here's
rest
the
my
thing,
case.
we don't know if that Jello or that cube will be around for the whole game yet. Like it may turn into something. Like it's just the first intro that we get, so we don't know. There is speculation that that's like an allegory for the Lady of the Lake and the Sword in the Stone, because she grabs the sword from the water, right? And you know, there's a lot of like mythology behind it.
I'm just saying they better make sure that it stays a PS5 exclusive, because if they put it on PC, someone will make that into a Jello mold. They will like put like fruit in there and shit.
They'll probably the Kool-Aid Man, you know, like with the sword stuck inside him. You know,
There will be many mods in this regard. Why? Because the internet can.
we have so much
Right.
unemployed modders. There's a lot going on back then. All right, I
And
know.
they ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and they do a good job too. And to be honest, I'm impressed with some of the modding in the modding community out there. Guys, we only have 2 hours, and I wish we had more. But I wanted to kind of end the stream on a game that I think all three of us are looking forward to playing.
Yes.
And you guys have been streaming actually number 2 of this like consistently.
Yes.
So I want to hear your guys' take on AOT 3 because I thought it would be done. Then I asked Ace on his stream. This must be finishing the whole anime. This is the game that finishes the anime. All right.
I'm
'Cause I
gonna
haven't
let
played
Ace
two
go first because I have so much to say.
Insert coin immediately.
All right.
Like before even Gundam. That right there. Like, listen, like I had sat down, started getting back to playing Attack on Titan 2, just because, you know, back in June, as I was, you know, doing my back in May, as I was doing my you know, month-long Muso May stream-a-thon, you know, I jumped into Attack on Titan because it's one of the most interesting Muso format titles I have ever sat down to play, because they literally took it and flipped it on its head. So now you are literally sitting at a disadvantage with your you know, scout regiment. You are part of a battalion attacking something that can 1 or 2 tap you if you are not careful. You know, they took peon mode and made it into a whole game.
I think that's cool. I think like if the stakes are higher, that makes the game more intense, as it should. But you should also feel powerful when you're doing shit right and doing shit cool.
And you most certainly do, because if you get the hang of the mechanics and you can manually do what earning Levi's takedown does for you automatically. You can, like, if you master the mechanics, you can damn near last the whole mission without touching the ground.
Yeah,
That's got the trophy, right? Like finish a mission without touching the ground.
you know what? Let me find out. I can look for you. I have it up right now, but let's see.
This game looks like has a lot of spoilers if you haven't seen the anime or finished the anime.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. They showed a lot of spoilers for things that actually occurred.
Okay, because I've only finished
in the
the
show.
first season and the first.
And major
That's also
characters
another
to death.
awesome thing. Like, that's also another awesome thing about the Attack on Titan games, though, because I mean, again, I couldn't really sit down and watch the series. I stopped at like episode 8 in the first season, but it's a damn good Cliff's Notes version if you sit down and play the games, especially Final Battle.
Yeah, they are good. They are actually, that's a great way to describe both AOT and Attack on Titan 2. They're great cliff notes. You're like, I want to know what's going on in this story, but I don't want to get too fucking invested, right? Like you're just like, what's this? What's the scoop? What's the skinny? They're accurate tellings. I mean, yeah, sure. They get rid of the fun character little quirks and the side stories and all that. They stick to the fucking plot, right? And they follow it through well. Um, Ace, you were playing Ken's Rage 2 not too long ago, correct? Right? And this is something that I've been explaining to people. When Ken's Rage came out, right, on the PS3, they were like, yes, this is a perfect format for a Muso. I'm like, that's true. A lot of people get just absolutely obliterated in Fist of the North Star, so this works, right? But it was kind of slow, and the general flow was kind of clunky. It was slower, like previous Dynasty Warriors games, but they actually took the feedback. They heard us loud and clear. They were like, this kind of needs to get sped up. Like, no, because these missions take forever and it doesn't feel responsive and any of this other stuff. So they sat down and they released Ken's Rage 2, kind of like Monster Hunter, kind of like an expansion of this, except it covers the entire manga. From the start of Fist of the North Star all the way up to the very end, time skips included. It is robust. It is the complete experience. It's the complete story, right? So Attack on Titan has been following that format. I mean, this is the third game, right? They did the first game, but you just played as the primary cast of the show. That was it. That was just how it went, right? And it's still a blast, right? And then in AOT 2, they go, okay, we're going to do these first 2 seasons with your custom character. And then for the third season, right, we're pushing it back to the actual primary cast of the show, right? And of course, the AOT 3 here is the damn end. Or to give context for people, the game Attack on Titan 2 goes pretty much all the way up to the point where Thunder Spears show up. If you don't know what a Thunder Spear is, well, you're going to find out, right? But that's basically where they get to. So no, like here, the trailer that they show here, it has plenty of moments preceding people's deaths. Like, I'm like, oh no, I know that exact moment. Like, they really captured it. They've captured it here, right? And I just hope that it is as robust as Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle is. Because that's an expansion, right? On top of the base game. And just for funsies for people, this is a really expensive game now. Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle? Oh, you paying a minimum of $80 for that. Minimum. Like, you're like, what? Yes.
It's a licensing.
Like, it's nuts. No, it's just that the value has gone up dramatically since it released.
My question for you guys is also, like, I noticed, like, wasn't the first game more like CG cell shading, or am I just like imagining that?
Yeah, they're very cell shaded. Yeah.
Okay, like this one's kind of leaning towards more like higher res like polygons. Like, has the art style changed in the gameplay in the 2? And then this one looks like it's a little bit more like, you guys remember Jump Force?
Uh-huh.
It's starting to look like Jump Force versus like the 2D flat character art. You guys have any thoughts on that, or like preference?
I think it just reflects the technological changes. That's that's what I see. I mean, remember AOT 102 and 2 came out on the PS4, and now that we're putting this out on modern hardware, I think they're just trying to reflect on that and show, oh, hey, remember, we're Omega Force. We do cool shit, right? But it's almost like a hybrid between, I don't know how else to explain this, but cell shaded, but kind of like how the 3D parts of the newer Berserk movies went. Like, it's hard. It's like, oh, you're kind of doing okay, but it's a weird visual language to describe. So I don't think it's absolutely shooting for realistic, but it's keeping the stylization that is known for the series is known for.
Yeah.
To answer Squall Shade, yes, the third game will be how the anime ends. As I said, there are major character deaths that are going to happen literally seconds later after some of the things you see in this. And even right then, just to be fair, like the the story ends with an event. If you can actually rewind it a little bit and show all the ribs,
Ribs. Is that the beginning?
yeah, like what you
Oh,
see right here on screen, that's the rumbling. Like this is an apocalyptic event.
that thing.
This right here, this is literally at the end of the story. It's like that's why they put it first to show people, no, we're wrapping it the fuck up. And
Hmm?
I believe it even states in the trailer it covers the whole thing. So this is the super duper version of Attack on Titan. Like this is the last Attack on Titan you're ever gonna need because you're gonna go from the very very beginning to the very very end. But no, this is the apocalyptic event that has to be stopped in the show, and there are countless of those colossal titans. Like, oh, it's goofy. It's listen, all I'm going to say is Attack on Titan goes in fucking directions I did not understand. I did not expect. But when they wrapped it all around, I said, that's interesting. So, of course, it's for me, boom, it's an insert coin. I'm still fucking playing it now. Like 8 years later, I'm still playing it. Like, I don't know how else to sell that.
Ace?
Oh, like I already said it. Like this is insert coin before even Gundam.
I think it's coming out before Gundam, right? Or do we not?
It said the next scouting report is going to be July 1st, so that means there's going to be more info on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
I love that there's follow up for these games. I love it. Summer Games Fest is just like the introduction, and each and every one of them is doing like their own thing. Because that way you can just follow that specific game that you like. I think because they're doing one for Phantom Blade Zero, and I'm definitely gonna watch that for my end. My thing too. I'm interested. I played the first one, liked it a lot. The online netcode is kind of rough. How's the second one on the netcode or playing multiplayer? It's kind of choppy in the first one.
Yeah, it's that first one has a couple of additional things that made it weird. If you on a PS4, if you stream that to Twitch, you actually do have Twitch commands that still work to this day.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you knew that. There's actual audience interaction built in.
Is that for both, first or second one, or
Just for the first game. Just for the first game. So, like, your Twitch UI will actually change, and people can give you more gas, or give you more blades, or give you a temporary attack boost.
Yeah.
Towards Titans, like, oh no, like, so when you start running out of supplies and shit, so that constant calling and back and forth obviously makes that netcode not the most stable, right?
Yeah.
It's going in a lot of directions at once instead of just focused on from this player to that player, right?
Okay.
And this one is better.
Good.
Or for Attack on Titan 2 significantly. Except I keep trying to get Ace to get in there with me so we can go whoop some ass and get some money, but he just won't show up. I'm like, come on, let's go do it, man. Like we ain't got time.
Got pull up, man. There's a lot at stake. Look at this shot. This is some great. Love that. It's probably in the anime, and it's probably scary as hell.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
What do you mean? What is probably the anime?
Like no, this scene right here, the way it was shot, is probably the same shot in the anime.
Yes.
Like it's probably just as scary as it is. That's what I'm watching right now.
It's far scarier.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot of meat on the screen right now.
It's scary and it's beautiful in equal measure when you see it all as the scene is played out. You're like, that is actually kind of amazing. Like, there's just a moment where Hanj is, because that's who's in that screenshot. Hanj is just beyond herself. Like,
Yeah.
wildest dreams. She's just like, this is amazing.
I'm sure
Amazing
she's
to see.
the time of her life right now.
Oh no, she's juiced the fuck up, man. You'd be like, oh, she need to chill out.
All right. Well, I mean, that's bringing us to the end here because we're about to hit our 2 hour mark. But yeah, I want to hear everyone's takeaways on this show. I know we kind of started in the beginning, but looking forward to just like wins, anything like that you guys took away from the show.
Yeah, I have some honorable mentions that I don't think they're worth like a whole big discussion, but things that stood out for me that are definitely like just straight up insert coins, right? In fact, could you put in like 5? Put in 5 right now. Just click, click. There we go. So both Wolf Among Us,
There you go.
the remaster, and the sequel. Because, no, that's me and my wife's game. Like, I didn't know anything about Fables. She had been reading Fables for a while. I was like, what the fuck is this? She's like, you got to play that Wolf Among Us. I played that. I was like, this is the tightest shit I've ever seen. Right? So I got to get both. It's just boom, by default, right out the gate. It's not even a question. Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen was just announced. So that kind of surprised the hell out of me. Right? Like, oh, you following it up. Okay, let's see what happens. It's like, all right. And just like with Monster Hunter, guess what? With Dragon's Dogma, they kind of used Dark Arisen to do some corrections. And Dragon's Dogma 2 had a rough go at launch out the gate. And I believe the director is no longer at Capcom. Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right. So someone else is in charge. All right, what you gonna do with it? Right? That's what I'm interested to see. I'm going, okay, I got to do that. Guild Wars 3 shocked the hell out of me, but it's been about 14 years. Yeah. Guild Wars 2 came out 14 years ago. I just only in this moment realized that. I was like, oh wow, no, it's been out. I was like, I'm like, why are you putting out a sequel? It's barely been out. No, that was a hot ass minute ago. So hey, hat tip to ArenaNet. I mean, you've put out 2 MMOs that you charged a one-time fee for, and for some way, shape, or form, the internet, or not the internet, the company hadn't collapsed. Whatever you guys are doing with your money, keep doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing. They must be stuffing it in the fucking mattresses or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're clearly doing something that other companies can't. And I'm interested. I was there for the release of the first Guild Wars. I was there for Guild Wars 2. I'm gonna show up here as well. It's just the same thing. So those are the big ones for me. We already talked about Wolverine. Come on, it looks great.
Yeah.
Rockstar's about to start taking up our time. Right? And everyone's having to move their game release schedules. They're going, hey, whatever you do not put your shit out in November. Why? It'll be a bad time. Don't do it. Right? You need to put your game out in March. You're like, why March? You're like, because that's when most people have done their taxes and they probably have finished playing through the story of GTA 6. Let's just move our releases. Right? Everyone's getting smart. So we're all going to play GTA 6. No one should fucking stream GTA 6 because everyone's going to be playing and streaming GTA 6. Just go get it, play it, enjoy it for your fucking self. I actually thought that the Final Fantasy VII Revelation
Resonance
actually had my it had my attention. It had my attention just because of the fucking airship.
Oh,
I'm like,
the third one.
Yeah, he's talking about Revelation.
Okay.
And yeah, that one's one of my honorable mentions too. Because the airship, number 1, Sid, number 2, and number 3, I'm just glad they are finally finishing it.
like,
They are
good for
finally finishing it. They sat down, set out to do. It's like they finished what they set out to do.
My only hope is this, just one. I'm not touching Revelation until I have the game complete
Right.
in one box. Like, I skipped the second. I skipped Intergrade. Nope. I really did not enjoy Remake. Even though the demo really impressed me, but just getting later on into it, I just started to detest my time with it, right? And it's not like, oh hey, here's some additional like, no, I liked what they added to Midgar, right? And they gave it more character, more life, more story. That whole had to go to Jesse Raspberry's parents' house. That was
Mhm.
it. That was really interesting. There were a lot of interesting things. My gripes are purely about how combat went down. Like, but no, they look how they have always looked since Advent Children, and the visual presentation was well, but I just was not impressed gameplay wise, and I was just mostly frustrated and upset that why they would try to change it like this, not understanding that sometimes the best burger is just a bun and some fucking meat. Like, I think they overcomplicated it, but it looks like they as I understood it, they kind of learned some lessons along the way,
They did.
right? And so with the complete version, and when they're, they can just, I'm sure that's going to be a very expensive box, but when they get around to that point, I'll want to play it all together and see how I come away from that. It'll have to be balanced in a really different way. I just think things could be extremely interesting. So yeah, those are the biggest ones for me. We already covered all the other ones with the rest of the insert coins, but I just wanted to point those out.
Awesome.
Right. And
There's a lot. There's a lot in the show. Yeah. Go ahead, Ace.
my honorable mentions, like outside of Final Fantasy VII Revelation, I think I have like two other honorable mentions that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on. The first of them being Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Like,
Yeah,
I am actually interested in seeing what they do with that, especially with Igarashi not being at not being at Konami. So how are they going to follow up the Metroidvania formula from Igarashi? But also, just to make it nice and quick, TMNT: The Last Ronin.
We didn't get a lot of gameplay from that, right? From what I noticed.
We didn't get a lot of gameplay from that, but I'm definitely interested in seeing more. I want to see what Platinum Games has done with that, because let's face it, no matter what your opinion may be on their games, on Bayonetta or Metal Gear Rising, the fact of the matter is, mechanically, these games feel good to play.
Yeah.
And if we're getting something that's up to Platinum Games' usual standard with The Last Ronin, with that story, man, I want to see more.
Okay. That was one of my picks too. My other pick was Star Wars Zero Company, because all I heard was Star Wars with XCOM, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm in. I love that." That's all he had to say. That was my choice for my honorable mention. And I think I'm gonna pull up my list here, Discord.
I do have a very gentle, very stupid little announcement that it just isn't getting any notice by anybody. So I want to make sure that they get their props and their due, right? But it's very silly. But two of the best games ever made are getting a fresh release, and I was a hard sell. I was a hard sell on it. I thought I was playing hot garbage. Then I realized, wait a minute, I'm playing fucking Brilliance. So Earth Defense Force 5 and 6 are getting released on the Switch too. And I'll tell you, look, EDF 6, cream of the crop, okay? It's the Macho Man of fucking, we're gonna fuck up some aliens. Oh my god. Look, my experience with that this is my watchdog and my recommend. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. If you buy EDF 5 and 6, I guarantee if you come in there with the attitude of I'm playing the B movie version of a video game in all its ways, from presentation to game design to fucking corny, you're like, oh, I'm intentionally watching. It's like two steps above Tommy Wiseau's The Room, right? It's like, no, there's some actual ability here. You guys are making it like this on purpose. No,
if Tommy Wiseau tried to make Starship Troopers,
basically, yes, that's exactly what it is, right? It's corny as fuck. But look, this is one of those great co-op experiences I had right? Just like how I said, nope, co-op's important. I want to play games with people. Cinerus and I, in chat, co-opted all the way through EDF 6 through 10. You're like, wait, what does that mean? The game starts off as Earth Defense Force 6. You will have played through 4 Earth Defense games inside that game. You will get to EDF 10. I'm not bullshitting you.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not telling you why. This is not a joke. It is formally like, oh, Earth Defense Force 10. You're like, oh,
Wow.
you played through not one game, you played through 4 separate fucking games. You're like, wait, how is that possible? I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
That's
Just
a skills
know
point.
it was fucking nuts. So technically, all I'm saying is, you think you buy 2 games, actually you buy 5. It's fucking, it's out of this world. I can't hype or sell any other game. In fact, I hype that more right now. I hype it more than Attack on Titan 3. I cannot. I'm hyping it more than Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance. The game series that I've been playing for half my life, I'm telling you, EDF 5 and EDF 6 is going to be more fun for the biggest amount of people. It's fucking clown shoes tomfoolery. It is the stupid fun game where you're not thinking, right? It's the vampire survivors of shooting ants, okay? There's a lot of fucking ants. And look, if you're like, I'm scared of spiders, you better stay the fuck away from EDF, because you gonna be there for a while. They look just like humans. It's fucking goddamn frogs with laser guns. They look just like you're shooting greys. Giant 50-foot tall gray. And actually, Earth Defense Force and Attack on Titan are just really the same story now, aren't they? it's
Look what
fucking
you
nonsense. I did this, right? Attack on Earth Defense Force. What? Why don't we have this crossover content? Where is this? And now I'm just mad thinking about it. Anyway, those are coming out for the Switch. If you have a Switch 2, if that's all you have, no, again, strong recommend. Right? If you go, hey, oh, I heard these are pretty. Yeah, they're real fun if you let them be exactly what they are, right? And don't try to overthink it. Don't try to overanalyze it, right? Because you'll miss the absolute silliness that comes with EDF. Look, EDF 6 is so fucking good. I'd buy that shit for Ace if I thought he'd play it with us instead of being a recluse spider. I don't know. I would jump right back into fucking EDF 6 and just start that nonsense all over again. Woo!
My third game that no one seems to be talking about is just Bad Magpie. I don't know why I'm just so attached to this game. I saw the trailer and I was like, this is
silliness.
Well, I guess I have to convince you to play EDF 6 now.
Well, look.
We'll look it up.
If there's literally one thing that has been keeping me from a lot of co-op, it's my schedule.
You're a busy guy.
It's really that simple.
I want to share I'll share with you guys something. I don't know if you guys noticed, right? But this right here, where do you see these pieces of art from?
Disc 1, 2, and 3.
Damn right you do. Isn't that clever how they did that?
Good.
3 games, right? Three discs.
Be consistent, damn it. Right?
So I just thought that was a really like cute way to kind of show like it was on 3 discs before. Now it's 3 games. The scope of the game has increased, right? So yeah, I just wanted to share that, guys. Clearly, there's a lot of games to cover for this show, and I know you guys want me to cover a bunch of games. Even Final Fantasy itself is just its own episode. But we can, I can, I think I'll be streaming Saturday too. Like I put a link on the chat there. I am streaming for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, so you guys will see me Saturday for that. If you want to jump on board, we'll do another player character selector or whatever, just have some fun. But yeah, but that's basically it for tonight. Ace, why don't you take us home, man?
All class, controllers down, wish list closed, and somebody please take that debit card away from the person who just added 12 games to their cart because of one weekend of
That's
trailers.
I did
Yeah,
that.
we all gonna be broke.
Our wallets are crying.
You know what? You have 2 kidneys. You give
I'm
one
keeping
up.
them.
You can give up a kidney. It's fine.
Yeah, charge
But,
or like Klarna account or whatever it is.
God. But tonight, we survived the Summer Game Fest Afterparty. And more importantly, we put those reveals through the insert coin test. And that's important because showcase season is fun. Yeah, the trailers are flashy, the music hits, the logos pop up, the release windows appear, and for a few minutes, every game looks like it might be the next big thing. But that's where the Gaming Academy comes in. We're not saying don't get hyped. By all means, enjoy what you want to enjoy, right? You know, be excited for stuff that gets you amped up. We're just saying don't let hype hold the controller or your pocketbook. Tonight, we ask the real questions. Does this game deserve our time? Does it respect the player? Does it show enough gameplay? Is it giving us something real or just running on nostalgia and presentation? Is this a day one play? Is this a wait and see? Or is this something we can safely let pass? That's what Insert Coin is all about. It's not just about spending money. It's about spending attention, spending energy, spending time. And if gaming has taught us anything, it's that every coin counts. Some games earned an Insert Coin tonight. Some games got to wait for a continue because we see the potential, but we need more before we commit. And some hit the game over screen, at least for now, because not every trailer earns a spot in the rotation. And keep in mind, we're just 3 guys on the internet. Our opinion, our viewpoint on various games, it's our own. But we're bringing you the information so that you can make an opinion, you can make a decision for yourselves. Because it's not about killing excitement, right? The verdict isn't about killing excitement. It's about playing with intention. You start with your why. You start with why you want to sit down and give your attention to this game in the first place. You choose your focus. You play by feel, not FOMO. Doing that helps protect your wallet. You set your win conditions. You reflect and adjust on what you've played, on what you've seen. And not only do you protect your wallet, but you protect your time. That formula doesn't just apply to the games we already own. It applies to every game trying to earn our attention next. So, as the dust from SGF settles, you got to ask yourself, what am I really excited for? What am I actually excited for? What do I need to see more of? What can wait? And what does not deserve my coin right now? With that being said, this has been the Gamer Quotient Gaming Academy, class number 78. Well, technically class 78. The Summer Games Fest Afterparty, Insert Coin Edition. I'm Blazing Ace Nelson. Glad to meet y'all. Glad to see y'all again for another week. And I just want to remind you, don't spend your coin just because the cabinet's loud. Spend it because the game earned it. Play with intention. And on that note, we hope to see y'all back here next week for another session. Until then, do us a favor. Take care of yourselves and each other. Class dismissed.